Came back, graduated, Japanese International Studies and International Business. I have to thank Noda Sensei and Quinn Sensei. They pushed me when I needed it. And you know, sometimes with hard words when I needed it too. So, and I think that kept me on course. Then shortly after school, in 2000, I was recruited by a company called Fusarashi International Technology, FIT, part of something greater. I had no idea how I was going to utilize Japanese in my career. I knew that there were a bunch of automotive companies out there, didn't know who they were. I was terrified of going into manufacturing because I heard all kinds of nightmare stories about it. I can tell you, those exist, but there are also great experiences. And I think that the people who try and learn a little bit of Japanese and Japanese culture are given many opportunities. And it definitely goes far. And hopefully you'll see from my experiences how far it's gone. Our company was founded by this person, Marty Shimada. It's a private company. He's the first son of the founder of the parent company in Japan, and family owned, and that's kind of a typical style. And so I was very fortunate to be found by this individual. I got in when the company was small. I was the 13th person in the company. There's 72 now. I grew with the company over time. The person who trained me left 3 weeks after I started, so I really had to start everything on my own from the ground up. And that's been a great experience too. The company makes automotive components, safety critical automotive components. They're used all over the vehicle. I can get all into how it's made, but that's not why you're here. So I'm just going to show that we make parts. We have a long history. This looks a lot like the guy that I showed in the previous picture, if you recall, 2 slides back. Started in 1933. Our company co-developed Nissan and Honda engineering standards for fasteners. There are 4 plants in Japan, 1 in the US, 1 in China, 1 in Thailand. China and Thailand started up after I began, so I was part of the conversations for those investments, and that was a really cool part of my career experience. And also, we've been talking about whether or not to go to Mexico lately, and that's something else that I've been involved in too. So you know, truly an international career, even though I live near Cleveland, Ohio, right? Not too bad. I started down here when we were at 11 million, and I was number 13. We're up to about 60 million now and 72 people. I'll just flash you some images, give you an idea. Manufacturing didn't look like what I anticipated it to look like, okay? There are those dark, dirty dungeons out there, right? They do exist, but this place is not one of those. And it's one of the best I've been to, and we get great comments on it. And it's easy to represent the company that's well managed and gets compliments and is rewarded. And so you can take that pretty far too, I think. Whoa! Touchy button. So that's our group Honda Award. We've gotten many, many Honda Awards over the year. I think 11 of them in 10 years, so it's pretty good. And this is typical of Japanese companies, the uniforms, right? What you call it, the grease monkey uniform? Yeah, that's pretty standard for us. The Honda folks have their own, that's what the white ones are. These are just images of plants and things, and then I'll get into some more pictures. Anyway, because I speak Japanese, I didn't have to speak well. I just had to have enough to have interest, to show that I was dedicated, to show that I was committed to a career using it. And I had the foundation from Ohio State. I had all the tools I needed really to be attractive to this company and to every company. I applied for Honda too. I didn't know anybody at Honda, and my resume went on the stack with the 1,000 other people that applied that month. And that was it. It was lost. And I've been told afterwards that they kicked themselves that I didn't get the in the door there too, because people are looking for folks that do have that interest, that do have that language ability. And within the automotive supply structure, there are all kinds of careers. There's engineering, there's accounting, there's human resources, information technology. Whatever your other interests are, you can find a life in one of these manufacturing environments because you will be that human capital that's sought after. So these are all related companies. I'm just, machines. I'll skip. So a couple of things. The key role in the organization has been offered to me basically, I think, because of my ability with Japanese. Definitely that did open the doors. I've had international travel, which is one of the things I wanted in my career. 5 trips to Japan, 1 to China, 20 to Mexico, and many domestic. And I've been involved in a lot of things for my company. Now our president, who was the founder of our local company, has moved back to Japan, and he's the corporate president of all the facilities. And so I'm now part of a team of 3 that run the company in his absence. And he comes in for 2 or 3 days at a time, 3 or 4 times a year, and we report to him. So I've very quickly, 40, I got to a point of leadership within a company, and that was a very nice career. I don't know many people who've had as interesting or are as pleased with their career as I am. So I'll just flash through some of the images. It's lots of people drinking, but that's good too. Some of the more interesting trips that I've had, the China trip, I've done some governmental negotiations on this side for getting grants and tax abatements and things like that, and talking about expansions. And in Japan as well, I've had the opportunity just meet and greets. Our chairman received what's called the Order of the Rising Sun Medal of Honor from the Emperor of Japan, and I was invited to a celebration ceremony for that, and that was really neat. That was a fantastic experience too. So that's his medal. Oh, geez. It's like a sake barrel opening ceremony that we did. And that's kind of the corporate group. Going to kind of close with something that's a little bit random, but I just wanted to show, this popped in over the last week, and I found it interesting. It's an excerpt from a customer risk assessment survey. They want to know how our staff is dispersed, and they want to know who are the Japanese speakers in our staff. So I think that says something. There's a big network of Japanese automotive companies that support Honda, Nissan, and Toyota that are all building most of their vehicles here in the United States. In Ohio, there's something like 450 Japanese-related companies in Ohio alone. So I'm going to shamelessly tell you that my company is interested, that we are looking for talent, and that if you are interested, I'll leave some cards, and I'd like you to please contact me. Let me know what your interests are. And if you're not looking to live in the Cleveland area, I would be more than happy to make any introduction with any or tell you of any companies that exist that I have interactions with, and help you along. Give me a chance to give back and to learn more about others that have a similar interest to me. So I'll leave you with that. And I have these scrapbooks that I brought in, please do take a look. And if you have any questions, I encourage you to talk to me. Okay, thank you very much.